Hi, it's Alex from Sports Team.
Hi, I'm Al, and our album is called Deep Down Happy.
Here's the thing. If you smile enough that everybody smiles. Here's the thing. If you work a little harder, you'll get by.
We actually had the title for the album before we'd written most of the songs. It comes from a book called...
It's The People of Providence, it's called.
by Tony Parker.
And I think it started off just this, just a phrase really is what we liked about it at the start. And then I think as the album sort of developed, it became this sort of challenge for us as a band in a way, and sort of an assessment of our own lives. Like, are we living a happy life? We all live together in this house we're at the moment, all six of us. And sort of trying to create a life that feels like it has meaning for us and joy and kind of friendship and community in it. So it's we've always seen it's like, can we find this alternative way of life through going around the world together in a band that makes us really happy?
The album came together sort of over a period of years, really, and it was always just a direct relation to sort of what we were doing at the time and where we were living. So I know some of the early tracks like Camel Crew were when like most of the band was based in West London and sort of going to gigs every night and sort of, reacting immediately to the scene around us. But then latterly we were sort of on tour and a lot of the recording process was sort of just days in between, you get off a ferry and go straight into the studio and sort of frantically writing on the go. So I think it was a direct kind of reaction to that and everything that was going on at the time.
I think we probably recorded about 15 tracks off the album, and we were on tour actually. We were in Madrid when we got kind of the frantic last minute call from the label about picking the actual tracks, and like the six of us, so it ended up being this sort of massive fight about it.
Discussion. It was a heated discussion. Yeah.
It was like you got to pick in an hour. But I think all of them they were kind of born out of being played live at least. So we'd been doing them like the night before, and they developed and they changed every night. So by the time we'd finished recording it, we'd already sort of worked out the bits, and we'd worked out like how they actually sounded when you play them in front of a crowd, and the bits that you get a reaction from when you sing it to people, the words that people sing back, and that's always been the most important bit. So I think that influenced it quite a lot. All through the recording process, it wasn't recorded in this sort of one block like I think a lot of bands would. It was always kind of coming back, like getting off a ferry at 4 a.m, then sneaking in a day here and there at a studio in London. So it was always just developing in that sense, I think, just through this live experience.
And I think, as you say, it was playing live that really enabled us to sort of work out the songs as they were, and a lot of them changed quite dramatically from what we thought they were going to be, from having experience of touring them and seeing where people reacted and what the specific sort of like key lyrics were or what have you, the hooks that really kind of were exciting to play. And I think it was that we tried to carry and sort of capture throughout the recording process, which isn't always as easy as you might hope. But I mean, hopefully we kind of were able to get some of that energy into the record.
If you're in Belgium, someone else is catching ones.
I think it was very strange because it felt very intangible, the success it had, because it was incredible. Like we were amazed that it charted so well and charted #2, and getting a Mercury nomination for it was incredible. But all we ever really wanted to do with it was play live, like get it out in front of people, which we obviously couldn't do. So it's very strange that we didn't leave this room that we're sitting in now on the night it came out. Like really, in your experience of a chart battle is like getting a text from your manager and be like, you're #2 in the charts. And that's your night kind of thing,
Yeah, and it was just sat around the table that we've got in front of us now, sort of, the week before, having, a couple of drinks and celebrating the album coming out, and then finding out we had such an exciting week with loads of different news, and eventually kind of getting #2 and all of the support that we had, and sort of fans that have been with us from the start reaching out, and it was like really overwhelming. And then you look around and you're sat around the same table with the same 5 faces. And it was lovely. But as Rai said, without walking out on stage and seeing that reaction, it's really hard to kind of put it into context.
Because I think all bands feel insecure about their first album as well. You're like, oh, people going to like it, And you don't really get that until people are right there in front of you. But stuff like a Mercury help.
The writing process was very much playing it live. So obviously it's a different experience because people haven't had the chance to listen to it. People don't know the song beforehand, but you definitely got a sense of the reactions. Since it's been released, we haven't had any opportunities to do so, which is, very surreal, particularly since we're now working on the next album. So yeah, it's going to be.
We're not really a band that does like live streams and stuff very well, as you can probably tell. Like it's taken us an hour to get this set up, but the essence of a show has always been about sort of this community and energy and just passion being poured into something, and that's the bit we love.